Hey guys, Steve Petrotto here with Horizon Hobby. Today we're going to show you how to adjust your motor power settings on the 200 SRX. To do that, you're going to need to use your ready-to-fly radio or even any other bind-and-fly radio that you have. DX8, DX9, anything with telemetry can adjust the model from the radio. So if you're living in a high altitude area above 4,000 feet, you're going to notice that the 200 SRX out of the box, the power setting just really isn't extremely high, and hovering can be easy. The air is thinner, you need a little more RPM, so we're going to show you how to adjust that up in order for you to fly the model in those kind of areas. And if you're an advancing pilot and you want a little more power out of your 200, this will allow you to do that as well. To start, you're going to want to start the model. You're going to want to turn on your radio and make sure your trim is all the way up on the throttle stick. It's not going to spin the motors up, so just go ahead and raise that up. Don't be alarmed. Just make sure that your throttle stick is in the low position. To get it into the gain adjustment menus, it's just a stick combination. So we're going to lower both sticks into the bottom right corner of the radio, like this. Then we're going to pull the bind button. You're going to hold that, and the model's going to actually move the servos 2 times and then get into the sequence. You're going to notice that the aileron servo here is actually going to be down. It's going to be in the down position, or the swatch plate will actually be tilted to the left. In order to adjust each gain parameter menu, or to get into different menus, there are actually 4 of them. We won't go into all 4, but the 4th one is going to be the motor adjustment menu. To do that, we'll take our aileron stick and move it over to the right, and you'll see that that swatch plate servo moves, telling you which menu that it's in. All the way up is going to be parameter number 4. All the way down is 1, and in between is 2 and 3. Now that we're in gain parameter 4, that's going to be our motor power. To adjust that up and down, default is 100%, all the way down is 0% gain, and all the way up is 200% gain. So if you want to turn the motor power all the way up, as high as it can go, take your elevator stick, raise it up. It's actually going to pull the swatch plate down, pitching it down. It'll move the front elevator servo downwards. The swatch plate, now you can see, is tilted down. That's going to tell us that we're in the 200% gain, or the highest motor setting that we can possibly put on. If you want to turn it down, go ahead and push your elevator down, and you'll see the swatch plate moving. The swatch plate now is tilted backwards. That's in the 0 position. So that's the lowest possible motor setting there. So let's go back up. We'll crank it all the way up here. Takes a couple seconds to get to the position. Now you're at 200%. In order to lock in this setting, you're going to need to save it on the radio. And to do that, all we do is hit the bind button for a couple seconds, and the model goes back to a straight swatch plate. You'll see that your servos work as normal, and you're ready to go flying. It's that simple. The only thing you need to do is throw your canopy back on, make sure you have a charged battery, and go for a flight. Now the next radio we'll show you is the DX9. That's going to have the telemetry menus, and that'll show us how to do all these settings that we just did on the stock radio, but with a bind and fly radio. Give me 1 second while I set that up, and we'll show you that. All right, now that I've got my DX9 bound to my 200 SRX, we're going to go ahead and get into the menu for the gain adjustments through the radio. Now, to do that, we're going to scroll to the right on the radio till we see the frames holds and frame losses. So that's going to be our flight log. What we need to do now is go ahead and do the same sequence that we did with the old radio, with the stock radio. We're going to bring both sticks to the bottom right corner, and we're going to hit our panic button. In this case, it's our flap switch. The model will go into the gain menu. We can let go and bring everything out of that. Now you'll see that in the frame losses, we're going to see 888. Now that's not how many frame losses we have. That's actually telling us that we're in the gain adjustment menu. And the H is telling us that we're in gain menu 1. If I move the aileron stick to the right, you'll see that it jumps to H2. That's the second parameter. 3 is the third parameter, and of course 4th is the 4th parameter. You're also going to get your servo to do the same movements, so if you don't have this screen, you'll be able to see it here. So now we're in the motor adjustment menu. To do the same exact thing, we use your elevator, and you'll notice that if you get really close on the screen here, the R on the left side of the screen has a number, and that value right now is 200, but remember, we already jacked the motor gain all the way up. So if we want to lower that down now, we can just bring our elevator down, say we stop here. That's going to put the R down to 113. Now that goes all the way to 0, but if you want to go back up, you actually have a visual indication of whether or not the servo or the motor gain is all the way up. So now we're back at 200%. And we're still in motor, the adjustment menu number 4. To save everything, again, we're just going to hit our panic button, and the model's going to do its save procedure. It's going to go right back into normal flight. You can pull out a panic, and now we have servo functionality again. Now you can clear out of this or go back to your main screen by scrolling to the left on the scroll wheel, and you're all set to fly. Really easy to do on the radios with telemetry. DX8, DX9, DX18, DX6, all those radios are really easy to do. Everything else is pretty much just use the manual settings on the model, so you don't need the telemetry radio to do it. You can still adjust it if you have another radio. Hope this helps, guys. If you have any further questions, please let me know. www.facebook.com/BladeHelis, and I'll be happy to answer your questions there, and so will the rest of the team. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day.